Happy Talk Tuesday. It's your girl Ashley, the amateur expert, and I'm here live at the Amateur Expert Show, taping episode 17. And today I will be interviewing Steven, and he just entered the room, so we'll get him added. He is the founder of Punch Kids, and I'm looking forward to getting to hear his story. What's up, Jay? All right, we're ready. We're rocking and rolling.
How you doing?
How you doing, Steven? Nice to talk to you.
Likewise. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And if you can, please just introduce yourself to the audience and tell them who you are and just a little bit about Punch for Kids.
Perfect. I'm Stephen Matthews, owner of Punch for Pound Kids. We're dedicated to developing today's youth into tomorrow's leaders through the arts of the boxing, the selfless service of mentoring, and advocacy of healthy thinking.
Awesome. So, Steven, when you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Honestly, I think I had the same dream a lot of kids that come from where I come from had, be a basketball player, professional athlete, make it out, take care of your mom. If that didn't work, I actually wanted to be a math teacher.
Okay. And where are you from? Where did you grow up?
I actually grew up in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Okay. All right. And so how did you transition from professional athlete to math teacher to being the owner, founder of your organization?
That's kind of a long answer. I went to the Army at 17.
Okay.
And so coming from an environment where you kind of really want to be a provider and be a crush for your mom, that's what led me to the military so early. Post the military, I came back home to Greensboro.
Okay.
A lot of my friends, they were still in an environment where, they just were participating in activities that would, put them in vulnerable positions. And so because of those decisions they made and they were having challenges with employment and residence, that led me to want to start servicing the community. So one of my first ventures in servicing was Tough Through Us for Him, preparing ex-offenders for the opportunity of success. And along the ride, I got introduced to boxing. And I did a backyard brawl. A backyard brawl where we was basically in somebody's backyard. Somebody created a ring. We had a bunch of people, and we boxed. And from there, I actually was found. Somebody reached out to a friend here in Greensboro. I went to Ohio, and I actually turned professional and got a management contract. So,
oh wow.
I'm gonna try to make this story short. I apologize, but long story short, being in Columbus, Ohio, and seeing how big boxing was as a culture, going into Cincinnati and being in the gym where you have 4 rings and grandmas, grandpas, uncles, aunts, everybody is there. And so when I came back to Greensboro, or North Carolina rather, I just knew that this was something that I could implement in our community that could help empower the youth. And so 2014, I began that journey. Not really knowing how I was going to get it done, but just having the passion to want to do it.
That's amazing. And so so at the time that you said you wanted to be a math teacher and you wanted to be a professional athlete, you said your goal was to be able to provide for your mom and your family. So what was your idea of success? Was it making a lot of money, or what did that look like to you?
Success looked like the houses in the neighborhood we drove past on the school bus. That's what success looked like. I didn't really have one tangible item, but under the umbrella of stability, under the umbrella of quality of life and not struggling, but, being comfortable, that's what I looked at as success. It wasn't or a house, it was just family and family not worrying about check to check.
Right.
Right.
And now that you have created your organization, has your idea of success changed?
Definitely. As a combat vet as a father, as a community service provider. I look at success as one, leaving an inheritance, but leaving a legacy built on community service and entrepreneurship. Seeing a community like the one I come from, being able to empower itself from within, where you have Black-owned businesses and, you know, banks, farming. So, you know, not that's how I see success. You know, us depending upon each other, being able to put green dollars in Black hands, have thriving businesses within the community. That's how I see success today.
That's awesome. So, what tips and motivators did you use along the way? I'm sure, well, I'm not certain, but I would assume that being in the Army gave you one set of tips and motivators, which probably helped prepare you for entrepreneurship. But could you just maybe tell us some from each period?
Definitely. And it was funny that you say it because these are different periods in life. So from 17 to 21, the biggest thing I learned was how to submit to authority. As a young Black male, put it into an entity as such, without a father figure or male guidance, there's a conflict and disconnect there.
Right.
So learning that process allowed me to learn how to trust. And then that allowed me to start learning skill sets that got me to the next level.
That's awesome.
I think as a entrepreneur, professional fighter, it's that hat that you have to put on. So now I'm Stephen Matthews, Punch for Found Kids. And so there's this level of professional fighter aggression and that I have to turn off. So now I got to smile more. And that's a skill. You know, coming from communities like the one I come from, a lot of our young males have to walk with a certain, you know, chest out, who are you? And so when you cross into a world corporately, or you cross into entrepreneurship where you have to now learn how to partnership and shake hands, I think the military helped me with that as well, understanding diversity, how to sit in arenas with different people. But being more self-conscious of who Stephen is and what the energies I give off in these arenas. I think that would be a great learning curve.
That's amazing. And that's a very good point. Because there is sort of a dance or, you know, a balancing that you do have to do. Just, I think culturally Black people have to do that in general. But also I think, like you said, a very good point, the corporate world versus entrepreneurship versus being a professional boxer. So that's thank you for sharing that. And my last question, I'm trying to think what else I can ask you. So I feel like this went too quickly. So, okay, you said, what were some of the first steps that you took to create Punch for Pounds Kids?
The first step was stepping out and believing in Stephen. Like I had this idea, this thought, and taking the initial step to see it manifest in reality. And so that was knocking on doors. I went to a nonprofit called Macedonia Family Resource Center in High Point, North Carolina. And I spoke directly to the executive director, and I just let him know, like, I'm a professional fighter, but I want to be able to come to the community and service the youth in this community for free. And so that's a key. What I just said is key because I learned early how to pay my way forward.
Okay.
How to invest into what I'm doing, into other people. So it became an understanding that if I volunteer, if I care about what you care about, that'll give you permission to care about what I care about. And so
awesome.
Those initial steps, just put myself in the right arenas and making those contacts. Immediately after that, I learned that I needed to start, you know, not going just with passion, but going with data and how do you fill this void and what are the numbers in. Because, you know, with everything you do, it's that side too. So wanting to leave an inheritance and build a legacy, I had to start diving more in on the business side along with the passion.
Right.
And start understanding what value is and where my value is and what that looks like. And so, yeah, it was a journey. It was definitely a journey because that level of information wasn't just readily available.
Right.
access wasn't just readily available. And even though I had the confidence and the courage to knock on doors, I had the mindset 12 no's, one yes. But there was still these other little things we talked about earlier. Do you smile a lot? You know, what do you look like when you, how you articulate it? Who have you aligned yourself with? You know, all these little, yeah, so it's a challenge. But we making it. We definitely getting there.
That's amazing. So trying to think of any other bonus questions I can ask.
Okay.
Um, Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Love that question. I definitely see Punch for Pound kids not only being housed in Guilford County, but in other counties. Um, but to start with this county, being effective um, on paper. That 30, 60, 90-day turnaround, being effective at multiple schools where it's affecting the juvenile crime rate. Where it has an impact inside the schools where you can see um, a scaling on the academic side.
Okay.
From a business standpoint, I definitely want to continue to increase our workload, because if I can do that, then that gives me the opportunity to put younger males and younger females in position to do more mentoring that's paid. Mentoring is like a huge thing, and most people think it's supposed to be for free. And it's a service that, and I say that to say it's a service that should be, but it's also a service that in order to have a mass effectiveness on the larger scale, you would have to bring in these other individuals to make sure you can compensate time in some degree. So, yeah, in 5 years, I see us continue to grow, expanding different multiple school systems, multiple counties, employing and just empowering the community.
That's great. And maybe franchising. Maybe we can get one in Connecticut or, Atlanta,
That'll be
spread
dope.
out.
Yeah, no, that'll be dope. For certain, we program chartering. I can see that happening. Coming up there, doing some workshops and getting you guys on board.
I like it.
Yeah.
So my official last question is, I consider myself the amateur expert. I know a little bit about a lot. So if you could please, although you have shared some great information with us already, share a random tidbit of information with us that is completely random. It could be something, a fact. It could be a bit of information, a source of inspiration, but just anything.
So at 19, I went to Iraq, Kuwait, all the way to Baghdad. And my job in the military was chemical operations specialist. What that really means is that provided cover and concealment smoke. So on the front line, you have the enemy over here, we're over here. My platoon can blow what we call smoke, where any lasers or any technology wouldn't be able to see through or detect through the smoke. That's it's like coming out of a turbine engine. And so we actually had a mission in the 2003 Iraqi do a freedom war. Yes, that's a fun fact. Yes, a chemical operation mission. You can look that up.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for having me.
Can you let the people know where they can find you, your social media handles or your website or anything along those lines, so that if they're interested in learning more about your programs, that they can definitely find you?
Yes, so on IG, we're at P for PK. On Facebook, Stephen Matthews, as well as the Punch for Pound Kids fan page. And we're located here in Greensboro. If you're ever in the area, please stop by. Matrix MMA is the gym, 2023A, Benford Street. Boxing, kickboxing, mixed martial arts, youth classes, adult fitness, all of the above. And always remember, for Stephen, I'm always wanting to make sure that you understand you're obligated to empower your community. It's not like something that you should think about. It's something that you should automatically want to do. So if I had anything to leave with, let's do that, guys.
Awesome. I will put all your information on the YouTube description so people can find you when they catch the replay. And thank you again for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good night.
You as well.
Thank you.